Today is December 8, 2020. And the good news is that it is another hello, hello, hello day. A very unique spectacle in the sky is going to happen this month. Jupiter, which is a very bright planet, very bright, and Saturn will be so close in the sky that the angle between them is only 1/10 of a degree. Keep in mind that the Moon has a diameter of 1/2 degree. Use that as a scale. The closest approach, as seen from the Earth, of course, keep in mind that when we see them within 1/10 of a degree apart, they are still 725 million kilometers away from each other. But in the direction that we look, they are within 1/10 of a degree of each other. The distance from Earth to Sun, we call that an astronomical unit, is 150 million kilometers. Jupiter is at a distance of 5 astronomical units, and Saturn at a distance of 10 astronomical units. It's twice as far away from the Sun. It takes the Earth 1 year to go around the Sun. That's our definition of the year. It takes Jupiter 12 years to go around the Sun. And it takes Saturn 29.5 years to go around the Sun. Every 20 years, they sort of line up a little bit. Nowhere near 1/10 of a degree, but every 20 years they come close to each other. That's immediately the consequence of their orbits, their orbital periods, and the Earth's orbital period. But on December 21 this year, they will only be 1/10 of a degree apart. The last time that that happened was in 1623, but no one could see it because they were both too close to the Sun. The last time that people could see it was in 1226, 800 years ago. So when I say this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, that's an understatement. 800 years, probably more than 12 lifetimes. So what you should do, you should start watching the sky about 45 minutes after sunset. You look in the direction of west-southwest. You will then see Jupiter and Saturn both about 15 degrees above the horizon. The angle between these planets and the Sun, which we call elongation, is 30 degrees. You should start at least a week before December 21, because it's already spectacular to see how the distance between the two planets shrinks. Besides, you may be out of luck on December 21 because it may be clouded. So watch at least 1 week before December 21 and keep watching a week after December 21. On December 16 you will also see the Moon below these two planets. New moon, you see a crescent, close to the sun. But then, of course, every day later, the moon has moved substantially in the sky. The reason why it doesn't happen every 20 years that they come that close is the result of the fact that the orbital plane of Jupiter makes an angle of, let me check this, 1.3 degrees with the ecliptic. The ecliptic is the plane of the Earth orbit. But Saturn makes an angle of 2.5 degrees with that plane. So therefore it is extremely rare that they are that close together when they have their 20-year encounter. You should be able to see them both with your naked eye. A pair of binoculars would help. And if you happen to have a small telescope, oh boy, or maybe I should say, oh baby, because then you may be able to see the 4 bright satellites of Jupiter, which were discovered by, what is his name? Galileo Galilei. And you may even see Saturn's rings, because already Galileo Galilei saw those too, although he couldn't tell that they were rings. Now Jupiter is 12 times brighter than Saturn. But that should still not be a problem for you. By the way, if you look 45 minutes after sunset, the next morning get up early and look before sunrise, you will see the brightest planet in the sky, which is Venus. Don't wait much longer than 45 minutes after sunset, because then the 2 planets will become closer and closer to the horizon. 45 minutes after sunset, they are about 15 degrees above the horizon, which is still quite reasonable. It is a complete coincidence. There is no astronomical reason for that December 21 also happens to be the December solstice. That means the declination of the sun is then minus 23.5. That means the days on the northern hemisphere are the shortest, and the nights are then the longest. And the reverse is true on the southern hemisphere. But if you live in Australia, boy, you can see the 2 planets just like we can on the northern hemisphere. So yes, this is not only a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but this is a once-in-12 lifetimes opportunities. Don't you miss it. And by all means, after you've seen it, drop me a line. And start already about a week before December 21, because that's equally exciting. And continue a week after December 21. If you're lucky and you can catch it on December 20 or 21 or 22, well, then you have the best seats in town. Have a nice day. Take care. We are friends as always, whether you are lucky and see this spectacular phenomenon or whether you won't. We will always be friends. That's a given. Always a given.